Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast.
Any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
You're only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
What?
You are a sniveling little suck-up sellout full of suffering succotash, son.
What?
I'm not ready for you.
Give me a hell yeah.
We are back and better than ever. Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We appreciate you stopping by. I am your host, Brock Fluker, and I am joined by Chris Kirby.
Yay, me. I'm just curious, though. How else are they supposed to listen but with their ears?
Huh?
You say wherever you may be, however you may be listening. Well, they're only listening with
Well,
their
you
ears.
can. Well, you see, you can listen through, iHeartRadio, Spotify,
But they're only listening with their
iTunes.
ears. Sorry, I've been holding that in for weeks.
It's taking you long enough to bring that one out.
Yeah, I just didn't know if I should or not.
So we've got how many hours of wrestling to talk about?
9,
Yeah,
counting the pre-show,
yeah,
which takes about 2 minutes,
yeah.
if that.
Yeah, so we had the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view last Sunday, and Raw and SmackDown. We will get into all of that. Unless you have something else you want to talk about first, we'll get right into it.
No, we've got a long show. Let's go ahead and get into it.
All right,
Anything else can wait till the end.
pre-show.
Woohoo!
Buddy Murphy against Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, my only note was how it ended.
Yeah, Murphy won with the Murphy's Law.
But I do love watching that Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I thought this was a good match, though.
For what it was, I mean, it was okay. I'm not into either one of these two.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, it's hard when you don't really follow it, but
But I mean,
the work was good.
yeah, it was.
They did do, the split-screen promo thing with, a New Day interview during this,
Mm-hmm.
which is the only time you would see a rest hold in a 205 Live match.
Yeah. It's not like, some of the other matches we'll get into.
Yeah. I think on the pre-show was also where they had that Kevin Owens promo with the pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, because they showed it all 3 days.
Well, they showed a different one on Raw and SmackDown.
Well, yeah.
But on this show, he was talking about his return. He'll be back in a few weeks. And yeah, he bought his kids pizza to watch Elimination Chamber, and they wanted pineapple on it, and he tried it and hated it. So
Can't blame them.
So depending on your beliefs on pineapple on pizza, Kevin Owens is either a heel or a face right now.
He's a face for me. I don't like pineapple on pizza.
It's not my favorite, but if it's there, I'll eat it.
Something you put pineapple on pizza. That's like going to McDonald's to buy a salad. It just doesn't make sense.
But people do that.
And they go to McDonald's for a salad.
Yeah.
It still don't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah. So, other than that, I didn't really have any notes from the pre-show.
No, that was it. Murphy's Law for the win. That was my only note.
Yeah.
It was a good match. I just didn't feel anything noteworthy.
Right. The show started with the Women's Elimination Chamber match.
Good way to start it, though.
And I thought that the first 2/3 of this match were very bad. Very bad to boring.
Kind of, yeah. It really was.
And it's interesting because Meltzer talked about it on Wrestling Observer Radio, was that everyone in this match had been off the road since Tuesday for SmackDown to practice this match.
Yeah.
So they were at none of the house shows or live events or whatever the hell they call them.
Gotcha.
And they were just practicing this match. And it's still...
Where do they practice at? Where do they have this chamber set up at so they can practice?
Well, they might not It's more like a walkthrough thing. So they might just envision what's actually there.
I want you to pretend you're on top of the cell.
Yeah.
I want you to pretend to jump 13 feet to the floor.
Yeah. I doubt they have it set up somewhere, but maybe they do. I don't know.
Maybe they got ladders or something to pretend it's the pod.
Yeah, they can use something in place of it.
They'd have to, I would think. They spend too much time on the pods.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so into the bulk of this match. And another thing that he noted, actually, was that, and it's something I kind of got the feeling of, that, like, all of the best, like, workers in the women's division weren't in this match.
Yeah.
Like, there was no Natalya, no Asuka, nobody that really typically holds a match together. Like, Bayley and Sasha are, I guess, the two best as
in
far
this
as that.
Match, yeah, that or Jackson Tamina.
Yeah, and that's a stretch.
Yeah. But I mean, think about it. There was no Asuka at all on the show.
No, there had been no Asuka since she beat Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, there was no Rusev on the show.
Nope.
Which was kind of surprising, but not.
We still haven't seen R-Truth since he won the title.
That's true. Maybe we'll see him next week after the Chamber stuff settles.
Maybe. Yeah, getting into the bulk of this, the Iconics got the first elimination, eliminating Naomi with a double roll-up, I called it.
Yeah. But
and that eliminated
surprised the hell out of me. That they actually pinned somebody.
Yeah, right.
It just threw me for a loop. I figured they'd be the first out within a couple minutes and be done with it.
Yeah, that should have been one of the bonus questions I had, was who would be eliminated first.
But I did find out why Naomi and Carmella were eliminated first. And that's just with everything happening off camera and in the real world.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about that for a second. That Naomi situation we already talked about.
Yeah.
But I will add to that since we did that show last week, Fox News decided to report, quote unquote, that the reason that Naomi and Jimmy Uso did what they did and Jimmy got arrested was because they are trying to get fired by WWE so they can work for AEW.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Jimmy Uso decided to take off his shirt and square up to an officer because he wanted to get fired.
No, yeah, of course.
That makes no sense.
Well, that's what you get for, listening to fake news network.
Then you have Carmella, who Corey Graves, still technically current wife.
Yeah, separated, but yeah.
Estranged wife, whatever you want to call it, accused him on Instagram of cheating on her with Carmella.
Yes.
And since then, there have been things that have come out that sources close to Graves have said that they've been separated for 6 months and he hasn't lived there for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
So,
which is kind of weird. If you've been separated 6 months, usually you don't live together.
Yeah. Well,
for 4 months.
You have to imagine Corey really isn't home that much anyway.
Yeah, that's where I was getting.
Like, he's there like 2 days a week.
At most.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot to say on it. I just feel bad for his kids in this situation.
Yeah, they're the ones that's going to lose and get headaches over it.
Yeah. Especially being that they were like fans of Carmella.
Yeah.
So
but that could be good if your daddy's, with your idol now.
Yeah. And it's just a bad situation there, but not much else to talk about. I feel like.
No, just out backstage heat and all that. That's why they went out first.
Yeah. There were some Corey Graves chants when Carmella entered, apparently.
Yes.
Not very loud, but they were there.
And this is where my comment that I just told you off the air came in.
Yeah.
When Tamina and Nia were walking to the ring, and Cole says they're the heavy favorites. To me, it made it seem like he's making a play on their weight.
Right.
Because he could have used so many different adjectives than heavy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was, but
I'm sure it probably wasn't intentional.
And it probably wasn't, but for somebody who just has an ear for something like that,
Yeah.
To me, it's just rude. I mean, where else could... Oh, they're the heavy hitters. Well, you don't say that about Sasha or Bayley. You say they're the favorites. They're the fan favorites, but not the lightweight favorites.
Yeah. I didn't notice it until you mentioned it.
And that was the only time it was said, so maybe it just slipped by and I'm the only person that heard it.
Yeah.
That very well could be.
Yeah. So, going on, the Iconics tried to hide from Nia and Tamina inside the pod.
Which was funny.
And, of course, they pried the pod open, and Jax, and was this where Jax hit the second rope Samoan drop?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Double Samoan drop from the Iconics for the win.
Yeah.
Or to the Iconics.
Yes. And then the Riot Squad get eliminated by Jax and Tamina too, and that one was the Samoan drop off the second rope. Whichever one she did it to, Liv Morgan, I think.
Let's see here. No, this is when Tamina did a splash from the top.
Yeah, but
both of them.
Yeah, but that was after. That was what set it up. The Nia did the Samoan drop off the second rope to Liv.
That was the end. I thought Tamina got the pin because that's what I've written.
Yeah, so Nia did the Samoan drop off the second rope, and then they positioned them both there,
gotcha.
And then she did the splash and pinned whoever.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Nia Jax ran through a pod on her own free will, as what I wrote.
It didn't really look realistic
because Bayley is perched on the turnbuckle on the outside of the ring.
I thought she was just standing in the corner.
But whatever.
But yeah, she was in the corner, not next to the pod.
Yeah. And Nia comes running, and Bayley moves from the turnbuckle even further away, but she was already out of the way.
Yeah.
And Nia just runs through the pod.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it looked cool, her crashing into it. But it always looks cool when people go through it.
Yeah, but why wasn't Bayley standing in front of the pod?
To give the heavy hitter or the heavy favorite
enough room. She needs enough room to be able to fit through the pod.
Gotta pick up speed, man.
Oh my goodness! And it was funny after she did that. When they showed the shot of Tamina's face.
Oh yeah,
she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm screwed now."
Yeah.
It was the first time I saw Tamina show any sort of emotion.
Yeah, it was. But to me, what's better is how she got pinned.
Yeah, and they do the backstabber into the Bayley to belly, and then everyone in the match pins her.
Yeah, like everybody left is on top of Tamina getting this pin.
Yeah.
I can't blame them though. You want to get the heavy hitters out.
Yeah, the heavy favorites.
Yeah,
you got to get them out of here.
Get them heavy favorites out of there.
Yeah, so they have it come down to Mandy and Sonya against Sasha and Bayley, the same two that started the match.
And where are we at with our predictions?
Well,
because we did that bonus question was who was the last two teams.
Yeah, we both lost that one.
Okay, I know we both chose Bayley and Sasha.
No, on both of the bonus questions, we both chose the same things.
Oh.
Because we both said Bayley and Sasha against Tamina and Nia.
Yeah, so we were half right on that one.
And then in the other one, we got it both right.
I'll take partial credit.
Yeah. We only disagreed on two things, and we'll go over those. But,
this was that modified bank statement.
Yeah, so before that, though, they had me convinced that Mandy and Sonya were actually going to win after they threw Sasha and Bayley into the pod, and Bayley is completely out. And before that, I think it was before that where they did the callback spots where last year Sasha kicked Bayley off the pod, but this time she helped her up.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, because I was actually wondering, are you going to kick her off again?
Yeah, and the way they did it, I like the way they told this story, sort of. Like, for the past few weeks, it's been Sasha that is always hurt and taken out of the match, and Bayley has to fend for herself.
Yeah.
But this time, Bayley gets taken out, and Sasha has to do it on her own.
Not for very long, though.
Yeah, but in the end of the match, and how it ends, and she'd had her shoulder worked over, like a lot of this match, being thrown into the pods and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so when she, after the near fall was where Mandy hit whatever the hell her finisher is on Banks. I still don't know what it's called.
I don't either.
But Banks kicked out, and Sonya goes for a spear, but Sasha rolls out of the way, and Sonya ends up spearing Mandy, and Sasha tries to get the Banks statement, but because of the injured shoulder, she can't get it in, so she does a modified version, putting her knee pretty much across the face of Sonya.
Yeah, it was weird looking, but it was cool looking.
And that got the tap outs for the win.
Well, at least we were right on who was going to win.
Yeah. It's funny because before I always said that I feel like they're protecting Sonya by having Mandy take most of the falls, but now I feel like they've done the opposites, and now they might push Mandy, I guess.
I mean, Mandy's, I'm going to say, put herself out there more than Sonya. She's the one that's getting on the mic doing promos.
Well, she has more character, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, DeVille's character is, you come out, it's like a dumbed down Ronda Rousey.
Right.
Really. I mean, except Ronda speaks a little more on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, they interviewed Sasha and Bayley afterwards. They were at a loss for words, I guess.
That's a first.
Is it, though?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, but this was cool. It was good to see them win and get the first.
Yeah, I mean, of all the teams that were in it, they're the only ones that, besides Nia and Tamina, that were actually team quality, I think.
Mm-hmm. And the Iconics.
No. No.
I just wanted them to win so I could hear you come on here today.
Oh, I wouldn't be stopping. You'd be hearing it every night since. I'd be calling you up at 3-4 in the morning. Can you believe them damn Iconics won?
I keep thinking it was a bad dream.
Nightmare I can't wake up from.
Yeah.
Overall, it was, I mean...
The end was good. They got me by the end.
The last few minutes last like 5 minutes. Maybe.
Yeah.
The rest of it, not so much worthy to really watch, but...
Yeah, and that's kind of the trouble with that sort of match, that it has to take a long time.
Well, it doesn't have to.
Well, the way they do the entrances...
Well, and how many minutes is it before the next pod opens? It seemed like 5 minutes.
Whenever they're ready.
Because it seemed forever. And it's not like the Royal Rumble where it's 1.5 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Here it was like 4 to 8 minutes, depending on what the story called for.
Yeah. So then we had the Tag Team Championship match. The SmackDown tag match. And before the match, Miz comes out, cuts a promo at the top of the ramp, and he introduces Maurice.
But before that, he actually congratulated Banks and Bayley for winning the tag champions.
Yeah, I would have forgotten about that.
Well, you did, because Maurice was after that.
Yeah, babyface Miz.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was kind of cool to see a man come out and congratulate the women.
Yeah.
You don't see it very often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Maurice says they're having another baby. Which,
okay, good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah. That was quick.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's only been, 6-7 months since Sky Monroe was born?
Yeah, it's like...
But maybe they just want to get him out the way so Maurice can come back.
It's like part of the condition for renewing Ms. and Mrs. was that Maurice had to be pregnant again.
I'll let you know when it comes back.
Yeah, so... After that, we get the actual match. Shane comes out. Yeah.
I didn't really care for the match that much.
I thought this match was fine.
I mean, the match itself was fine, but noteworthiness there just wasn't much.
Well, Shane tried to do a double coast to coast.
Yeah, what I saw, I said a coast to coast to coast.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, how is that possible?
And by a double coast to coast, I don't mean that the Usos were in the same corner. They were in opposite corners. And Shane went from one coast to the next coast, and then got off the turnbuckle and tried to go to the next coast.
Yeah.
But Uso got up and super kicked him.
Yeah, Uso said no.
Yeah. Miz did a springboard in this match.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Yeah, that was different.
Babyface Miz is adding some crowd-pleasing moves.
He plays a good heel, but he's also a good face.
In small doses.
Yes, in small doses.
I don't think long-term that...
I could actually see it at Mania if he turns on Shane.
I think, well...
If not before then.
I'll talk about that when we do the SmackDown review.
Okay, yeah.
Because I have a theory.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so Shane puts one of the Usos through the announce table after Miz goads him into making the leap of faith.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, looking at Shane and how freaking sweaty and gassed he was, I thought he wasn't going to make it.
I didn't think he'd make it to the table.
I thought he was going to fall 2 feet short of it.
I mean, he barely made it to the first coast.
Yeah. Yeah. God.
He needs to just knock the jumping out.
Well, that's all he does. That's all he knows how to do.
But in his heyday, he was able to do it.
Yeah, he can still do it.
Once.
He's just...
He can hit one coast.
He's just on the brink of death every time he does it.
He goes coast to coast. The person in the corner has to lean up because he can't make it anymore.
It's no joke. Like, Shane is going to hurt himself.
Yeah, extremely.
Yeah.
Not just, ooh, I hurt myself. It's going to be, oh, damn, I broke something.
Yeah.
Or someone.
I really hope that he starts taking some of this off the menu.
But, question though, he does that leap of faith onto the table.
Yeah.
Does that hurt as much or worse or more than doing it on the mat? Because the table's actually padded.
Yeah.
So would that not soften it a little bit?
Well, I guess it depends on where you hit.
I'm just thinking how he hit on this one.
Yeah. Well, when you hit it correctly, I would imagine it's not that bad.
I mean, the sudden stop is going to jar you no matter what.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's padded should help.
Yeah. But then you also run the risk if you land on, like, the corner.
Yeah.
Which will... that's what Vince did at, like, I think it was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre against the...
Oh my god, that's so long ago.
Like, 98, maybe?
Yeah.
Where Stone Cold, like, pulled him off the cage and he lands, like, right on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that sucked.
But back then, the tables weren't padded either.
Yeah, but you definitely don't want to land on the edge.
Well, no, not at all. It just makes me wonder, how much it really hurts compared to just doing it in the ring, like coast to coast.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but...
No, just wondering.
Yeah. Yeah, so after this, it basically comes down to Miz against whatever Uso it is. I think
Miz and eight Uso.
I feel like it was Jimmy, but I'm not
we'll go with that.
sure. And Miz hits the skull-crushing finale, but it takes him a minute to roll over the Uso into a pin, and once he got the pin, the Uso reversed it into a crucifix roll-up.
Yeah.
And that pins the Miz.
I was disappointed in the way it ended. A little simple reverse roll-up.
Yeah.
We're seeing this way too much.
I agree, but I didn't really mind it here. Just because there was more substance to the match.
Yeah. But I mean, we're just seeing it. It seems almost every week we're seeing at least one match end in some stupid roll-up when you could hit a finisher on the guy 5 minutes ago and, he got right back up. Mm-hmm. But yet you do a simple roll up and he can't kick out.
Well, I liked the way they did this though, because it played into it with how long it took Miz to get the cover, and after that, he's assuming he has the win pretty much.
Yeah,
and he gets caught off guard there.
And I get that. I mean, it worked here.
Yeah,
but
I will not defend the ones. I feel like they did multiple on Raw, but I can't even.
I mean, I'd have to go through my previous notes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they do it every week. They're doing it. Somebody's winning a match by some cheap roll-up.
Yeah.
And just give me a break. I mean, Mae Young could have kicked out of that when she was wrestling.
But, nonetheless, Usos are the tag champs. I thought they'd keep Shane and Miz until Fastlane, but they went earlier, which I think it fits what they're doing here.
Now, are they going to break up if they don't win at Fastlane?
Well,
I haven't seen anything on Fastlane, so I don't know.
What I think is that on SmackDown they said that Miz's dad will be ringside in his hometown of Cleveland. I get the feeling that after the match, Miz's dad is going to come in and low blow Shane, and that's how Miz will turn back heel.
I'm still thinking he's going to turn on Shane, or Shane's going to turn on him. Because if they want to turn him face, which they pretty much have, they don't want to have him turn around and be heel and do something to Shane. They want Shane to do something to him.
I mean, it depends on what they want to do, but if they go with Miz as a long-term face, I don't really care for it.
Well, I don't mean
he's just so much better of a heel.
He is. He
brings the who heat. He is.
Yeah. His heel turns have never really worked that well.
His face turns.
Oh, yeah, face turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too early in the afternoon for this.
Yeah, so after this we had the handicap match for the Intercontinental title.
Okay, now who was handicapped? I mean, was Lashley and Rush the handicap team because they had two? Or was Balor the handicap because he only had one?
What kind of question is this?
Well, because who's got the handicap? Because to me, with knowing what we know, Lashley had the handicap because he had Rush on his team.
Okay.
But
well, that was kind of the stipulation, what they did. But anyway, so the whole story of this match is that every time Lashley is in, Lashley dominates Finn.
Yeah.
And
every time.
And every time Finn is on the ground, Lio Rush would want to tag in. And that's when Finn would start to come back.
Yeah, and then Rush would tag out again.
Yeah.
It happened, 4 or 5 times?
Yeah. And so that would essentially be the finish, is that Lashley has Balor down, and he's probably setting up for a spear.
Mm-hmm.
And
it looked like it.
Lio Rush decides to tag himself in. And he's like, I got this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to do the frog splash, and he misses. And then Finn Balor goes on his run, and he eventually hits the coup de grace on Lio Rush and wins.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
Yeah, so Finn is the Intercontinental Champion, which is a good thing. I don't want to say that it's not, but I also hate this.
Why?
Because I don't understand why they insist so much on protecting Lashley.
Okay.
If you think about it, how many times has Lashley been pinned?
Not that many.
The only one I can think of is when Roman beat him.
Most of his matches end in, disqualification or something like that.
Yes, they insist on protecting Bobby Lashley.
And I don't know why.
Yet, they have no plans to do anything with him.
No, and there's no point. It's not like he's a new star. He was here before and lost.
If they were going to push him and have him go to the top title scene, then yeah, you protect him. But they're not going to do that. They haven't done that.
If they were going to do that, they would have done it by now.
Yeah, so, and what this match basically told you is, well, Finn can't beat Lashley, but he can beat his manager.
Yeah, Well, that's not saying much.
So it's like he's the default champion now.
Although you got to give it to Leo Rush, though, because of his quickness and his athleticism.
Yeah,
he is fun to watch.
As long
as he doesn't talk, he's fun.
Yeah. And, yeah, so after the match, Bobby laid Leo Rush out with the spinebuster thingy.
That was a hard hitting spinebuster, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Rush weighs, what, like 10 pounds?
And that left you wondering if they were officially broken up.
It did. They played it good.
Until they didn't follow up on it at all, and they were just back together the next night on Raw.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
Shall we get to the shortest match of the evening?
Yeah, we had Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott.
Did this even go 2 minutes?
I think it went 90 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And most of it was Ruby outside of the ring.
Yeah.
And then when she came back in, Ronda hit the Piper's Pits and the armbar and the submission. Unfortunate.
But it was after that that all the good stuff happened.
Yeah, so this whole thing was just set up to the post-match.
Which sucks, because I'd rather see just a promo with Rousey talking on the mic.
Yeah, I would have rather if
they hurt Ruby in a way by doing this.
Well, it's hard for Ruby to go any lower than she already is.
Well, I mean, that's true, but it doesn't help her either by getting involved in a minute-long match.
No, this killed her. So, Charlotte was ringside for this match.
Yeah.
And after it, she got in the ring, she stared down Rousey, and that's when Becky Lynch, and they played this with the live event that they had, that Becky came in during a Charlotte match, and Charlotte re-injured Becky's knee.
Yeah, which we know it's kayfabe.
Yeah.
But they're playing it off great.
Yes. And so Becky comes in on crutches, and she's hobbling her way to the ring.
And why didn't security stop her? She is suspended.
Yeah.
Why did security not stop her? Why?
Well, they did after everything was over.
Well, yeah, and we'll get to that because I've got that written here. But why didn't they stop her from even entering the ringside area? She's not technically a superstar right now. She's suspended.
Yeah.
She didn't have a ticket that I saw. Why was she even there?
So now you're splitting hairs in the kayfabe world.
Yes,
here.
I am.
I don't blame you, but
I got to do something.
But we'll just act like that doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Now I'm with you now. I need to move to WWE, man.
Yeah. So
the whole world is awesome.
So Becky gets in the ring, and she crawls her way into the ring. However, she got in, and gets up on her crutches. And Charlotte's just laughing at this. How pathetic is this?
Yeah.
Look at poor Becky. And so Becky just tosses one of the crutches at Charlotte, and that distracts her for her to wail the other one at her. And
well, did she?
She beat the piss out of Charlotte.
Oh my God.
And
but Rousey's just standing there watching.
Yeah, Ronda's just standing there watching.
I'm just laughing my ass off because she's just standing there watching her opponent get beat down with a crutch.
And after Becky is done mercifully destroying Charlotte, Ronda grabs one of the crutches. And at first, she looks at Becky, and Becky just points to Charlotte and just says, "Hey, have at her." And it's kind of that thing where Ronda still owed Charlotte something
from what?
From
November Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, where Charlotte beat her with the kendo stick.
Yeah.
So now Ronda's about to get her revenge on Charlotte for that. But as soon as Ronda turns her back to Becky, in comes the crutch, and Becky wails on Ronda.
Hardcore.
And she hits her in the head on at least one of these.
I'm not sure which one. I've tried to look. It was hard to tell because of how it looked at the camera angles.
Well, and that's what we'll get into here. But, so Becky just beats the hell out of both of them and until she decides to get escorted out.
Now, security is out there at this time.
Yeah.
But why didn't security come out when Charlotte was getting her butt whooped? Why just Rousey? Makes you wonder. Makes you ask why.
Well, that's like the opposite of what they're telling too, because Charlotte's the corporate Charlottes.
Yeah.
They don't like Ronda or Becky.
Yeah.
So yeah. But again, just act like that doesn't matter.
Nothing matters in the world of WWE.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to say is like Michael Cole was annoying as hell here.
I didn't really pay attention to him.
Because I feel like he's supposed to be a babyface, but he's just burying Becky. Like, she's not supposed to be here. No matter what you think of her, that she was suspended and all of this and that. And it's like, the person that Becky is compared to is the Stone Cold character.
Yes.
And, like, when Stone Cold did this, like, JR would be, like, screaming on commentary that Austin's raising hell and they all had this coming and this and that. But Michael Cole's like, she's suspended. She's not supposed to be here.
But the difference is, I think, partly is JR and Stone Cold were friends.
Well, it's
for
not.
One.
Yeah, but JR did that for more than Stone Cold.
Yeah.
He did that for all the baby faces.
Yeah. But I think Cole's just more of a Switzerland. He's just neutral.
I think he's more just speaking on behalf of WWE.
Maybe he needs a laptop to tell him what to say. Like an anonymous manager.
Yeah. And the other thing we'll talk about here is the fact that Becky when we say that she wailed on Charlotte and Ronda, she was swinging these crutches around like they were made of styrofoam.
Yeah, like she was Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
I mean, and you saw the bruises Tuesday night.
Charlotte posted those online too, and Ronda had to have stitches on her head.
But no concussion.
Thankfully.
Which is lucky, because that would have threw the plans out the window. Yeah,
and that was what I'm going to say here, is that the note that from the Observer was that they agreed beforehand that Becky, you hit us as hard as you possibly can. And that she did.
She did. She did not hold back.
But the point of wrestling is to make it look like you're hurting someone without actually hurting them.
Yeah.
And this was, I want to say careless, but it was more reckless.
It was more Attitude Era.
Yeah, but not in a good way.
No, not in a good way, but it was, just more Attitude Era. But, I mean, in a way, though, it was good.
No, it was, but I felt uncomfortable watching
it. It was uncomfortable to watch, because it looked more just like a gang beatdown than a wrestling match, or anything to do with wrestling.
Yeah, and part of it was, and I think part of why Ronda ended up getting hit in the head, is that the way she sold it, she was moving around a lot.
Yeah.
And so some of them were misplaced.
And I'm pretty sure it was just an accidental hit.
Well, yeah.
It just hit wrong with everything going on.
Well, when they agreed to have her hit them as hard as she could, like, it was an effective angle.
Yeah.
But they're lucky that Ronda did not have a concussion or anything else, and then there would have been no WrestleMania match at all.
Yeah. But this makes me wonder, though, I mean, when are they going to announce the setup for the triple threat? We know it's going to be a triple threat at WrestleMania with these three.
Yeah.
They're running out of time, really.
Well, they're going to have some sort of way that Becky gets back in.
Yeah.
And
maybe she's going to show up all the time, and Vince is finally going to go, well, you're here all the time, you might as well just work.
Well, it looks like, and we'll talk about it on Raw, that Triple H is somehow, like, I guess he's more aligned with Becky now. I don't know. So maybe it'll be like a thing where Triple H and Stephanie fight for her to get in. And they could do the WrestleMania 2000 thing and have a McMahon in every corner of the triple threat match.
Oh, my God. They can all be referees, too.
That's a terrible idea. Don't take that.
But they might.
Yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised.
No, if they ever heard our podcast, I wouldn't be surprised.
But, yeah. I did just want to mention that with Becky, just because I feel like not enough people are talking about it.
Mm.
And it's because people like Becky, and they don't want to talk badly about her. But if you're going to do the same thing with Brie Bella and Nia Jax, then you got to be fair here.
Yeah.
But nonetheless. We'll move on.
Moving on. What we got? Strowman and Corbin?
Moving on to the most pointless match of the evening.
Yeah, worse than Rousey's.
I didn't even know that this was no disqualification until the match started.
Oh, really?
No, I had no idea.
I heard about it, was it last week?
Maybe
it was just something I saw on like the rumor roundup. It might have been something like that.
So
I didn't see why we needed it again. We just had this match like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Or a month ago.
Yeah. So we have Corbin and Braun, and after Braun power slams Corbin through a table, McIntyre's music hits, Lashley blindsides Braun, and all three of them hit Braun with chairs. Nobody helps Braun.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah. And on commentary, Graves just says it's not Corbin's fault that Braun doesn't have any friends.
Or Balor.
And I'm sitting there saying, but he does.
Yeah.
You just showed me them on Monday when Kurt Angle and Finn Balor helped him.
Yeah, we didn't see Angle at all, but where was Balor? He could have came out. I mean, if Lashley can come out, so can Balor.
Yeah. I guess he was busy celebrating.
Can't blame him. He whooped the hell out of that little Rush guy.
Kurt Angle probably just didn't even come to the show.
He's still in catering.
Yeah. So, and they set two tables on top of each other.
Yeah.
And brought the stairs into the ring, and they hit a Shield triple power bomb through the tables.
But that was cool looking.
But why did they do the Shield move? This has nothing to do with the Shield.
I don't know. It's WWE. It doesn't have to make sense as long as Vince McMahon says it's okay.
Yeah.
It must make sense to him somehow.
Yeah, this felt like it lasted forever.
Yeah, it really didn't, but it felt like it.
Yeah, and
it sucked.
This was where the predictions took a turn, because the only two things we disagreed on were I had Lashley retaining, you had Balor winning, albeit you kind of thought it would be a disqualification or something.
Yeah.
But Balor ended up winning. And you had Corbin, which I feel like you just said, who cares? Corbin will probably win.
Pretty much. I mean, with what they've done with Strowman lately.
Yeah.
I mean, they've turned him into such a joke.
Yeah, and this is the irony that at Royal Rumble they advertised Braun versus Brock, knowing full and well that they weren't going to do that match.
Yeah.
And they said the reasoning was that they want to protect Braun and they don't want to have him lose to Brock Lesnar again.
And you're going to have him lose
here
to
he is
Corbin every week?
Being pinned by Baron Corbin.
Every week or two.
And you can say it took three people against one or whatever, but who cares? He lost to Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I mean,
that visual sticks with you.
They're just making him to be such a joke.
Yeah.
He was the monster among men. He would come out and everybody was scared of him. He whooped their ass. And now he comes to the ring and nobody runs. Nobody looks scared. They just call back up and they whoop his ass.
Yep.
I mean, that's all there is. It's a waste.
A giant flop.
They've ruined something great that they had. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
It is.
And Baron got the pin after that triple powerbomb. I forgot to mention. Yeah. So, speaking of pointless things, Lacey Evans randomly made an entrance and then left.
Walked out. Did she walk down the ramp, or was that Monday?
No, she's done that every time.
Was it every time she walks?
She walks down the ramp, then walks back.
Okay, I couldn't remember if she walked all the way down or not.
And I guess the thing that they're saying is like, oh well, these people don't deserve to see me, so I'm going to leave. But they're not saying that.
Yeah, they're not saying anything.
Like commentary is not alluding to that.
Yeah,
or anything.
I just wonder what's the point, or is it just get her some TV exposure before she has a match?
Yeah, I don't.
Look what they did with EC3. Backstage
Looking at himself
appearances.
in the mirror.
Just backstage appearances in the background. Never said a word.
Yep.
Until he got called out about EC 1 and 2.
When this happened, I posted on Twitter the Simpsons gif where Grandpa Simpson walks into the restaurant and he hangs his hat up, and then he turns around and grabs his hat and walks right back out. That's Lacey Evans' gimmick now.
Okay, I can see that.
And then we finally had our main event, and this made the show worth it.
Yes, it did.
And this starts when Rowan is forced to leave ringside,
which
when Brian comes in.
I'm actually glad they made that call.
Which I thought for sure that was going to lead to Luke Harper coming in.
I never thought about that.
Now, because that was the idea I thought they were going to do. So when they told Eric Rowan to leave, I was like, oh, they're definitely going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought about that. I did agree with him not being at ringside. He had no need to be.
Yeah, but it's an elimination chamber. There's no way to get in.
Yeah, well, there's no way to get into a cage match, a Hell in a Cell either. We've seen that.
I mean, they open the doors when someone gets eliminated so they can leave, but there's no way to get in.
Yeah. All you do is wait there, wait for the door to open when somebody's eliminated and jump in.
I found the loophole. Yeah, so this match starts with Brian and Joe chopping the piss out of each other.
Oh, you can see the mark still on Tuesday on Brian's chest.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That still makes my chest hurt.
Brian has the perfect skin for these chops.
You ever taken a chop when you were in school?
No.
Okay.
Not in school.
Out of school?
Yeah.
You want to?
No.
I'll give you one right here on the show.
No.
I'll even give you a woo.
Yeah, so after that, we'll kind of run through it. Joe got eliminated by Styles. He was the first one eliminated.
And that was surprising that he was first.
Yeah, Joe is suffering from the Bray Wyatt syndrome, that he talks a big game, cuts great promos, and then he's first eliminated in this match.
So he's like Rusev. Can't win a pay-per-view match in years.
Mm-hmm. He really hasn't, too, because Joe hasn't won a match on pay-per-view since, 2017.
I mean, but they're utilizing him as a jobber, which is fine, but they're making him a strong jobber, not just, well, here I am, beat me up, and go home.
Yeah, he's there to job to the main event guys.
Yeah, he's not the mid or low-card jobber like Hawkins.
Yeah, Styles eliminated him with the forearm for the first elimination, and Jeff Hardy, then being in the match for no more than 5 minutes.
Not even.
Got Styles laying on the turnbuckle, and Hardy went to the pod and did a swanton from the pod to the turnbuckle.
Yes.
I feel like the way they set this up was they're putting the match together, and they tell Jeff, look, you're going to have 5 minutes. And just can I still jump off the pod?
Yeah. Can I do something stupid?
And they're like, fine, Jeff, you can jump off the pod. Awesome.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's Hardy, though. That's Jeff.
Yeah.
He has to. Otherwise, he'd lose his fans.
I feel like Jeff was the one that really did not need to be in this match out of all of them.
Yeah. If they could have gotten away with 5 people, they could have left him out. I could see that, and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. And, yeah, after that, Hardy got eliminated.
Running knee.
Yeah, that's right. Running knee thing. Orton got eliminated. Or no, Orton did not get eliminated. Orton eliminated Styles with what was coined the phenomenal RKO.
Yeah, which was cool.
When, and it wasn't like a midair thing.
No.
He caught him while he was on the ropes.
Looked like he was going to do what? Like a phenomenal forearm?
Yeah.
And Randy Orton just grabbed it.
Mm-hmm. And after that is when Kofi eliminates Orton in a sweet revenge moment.
Trouble in Paradise.
And if you remember, 10 years ago in 2009, Kofi was starting to get his push and it was in a feud against Randy Orton, and he did the thing where he trashed Orton's car.
Oh, yeah.
And where his push came to a screeching halt was in the match against Orton, where I think the thing was that Kofi is supposed to stay down for Orton to do a punt, but he keeps getting back up to his feet. And so then Orton just planted him with like the most vicious RKO I've ever seen. And after he pins him, he is yelling, "Stupid, stupid" at him. And you can hear him on camera saying this. And allegedly that Orton, with backstage politics, put a halt to Kofi's push. Allegedly.
Okay. So that's why Kofi hasn't been pushed, because of Orton.
Yes.
Supposedly.
Yeah. And so this was a sweet revenge moment.
Well, I mean, I can see
10
that.
years later.
Yeah. Took him some time, but he got it.
And it was funny because Big E even posted the gif of Orton doing the stupid thing.
Oh, really?
Like seconds after Kofi eliminated Orton.
So he had that thing ready to go.
Yeah, he was waiting on that.
It's like, as soon as that ref hits 3, I'm hitting send.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
But with Orton out, that leaves Kofi and Bryan.
Yes, and it comes down to Kofi and Bryan, and the crowd is so into Kofi.
Oh, God, yeah.
And
he's on fire.
Coming into it, they had the gauntlet performance that set it up, and now everybody wants to see Kofi win the title out of nowhere.
I've been rooting for Kofi for years to win.
Well, it's like one of those things where you forget you wanted it until they show it to you.
Yeah, because I've been wanting it so long and they never gave me anything close to it, I gave up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the feeling that a lot of the crowd had.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a great job with this final 2 because they had the whole Elimination Chamber match, and then it was like they just had a whole separate singles match for Bryan and Kofi.
They did good. They did real good on it.
Yeah, and every time Kofi came close to a near fall, the crowd were so ready to explode.
Could you imagine what it'll sound like if he ever won?
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have to do it in a baseball stadium because the roof would be torn off.
Yeah, and so after being thrown into one of the pods, Bryan hit the running knee on Kofi, but Kofi kicked out. The way Kofi was selling these running knees, flipping like 5 times in midair, I felt like. Like
he does with Styles' backbreaker.
Yeah.
Where he just flips over.
Yep. And Bryan goes for another running knee, but Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise. That was the great near fall where everybody was ready to explode.
Yeah.
And Bryan puts the label lock on, but Kofi gets to the ropes. And I've seen a lot of people complain about this. Like, how is there a rope break in an Elimination Chamber match?
But the ref never made him break it.
Yeah, and that's where I'm getting ready to preach the rules. And
I saw it too, and I thought the same thing, and then I realized, well, the ref never said nothing.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan just broke it.
So Kofi got to the ropes, and if you know the rules of wrestling, even in a match where there is no rope break, if Kofi is on the ropes, he's technically outside of the ring. So even if he did submit, it wouldn't count because he's not in the ring.
But in this match, it would.
No, it wouldn't because...
Well, you could get pinfalls outside the ring. In the chamber matches, they've done it before.
Well,
unless they've changed it.
I think they did change it, though, because all the pins are inside the ring.
Because if you think about, years before, they'd have pinfalls outside the ring.
Yes, if that were the case, then...
Which I didn't know if they changed the rules. I didn't know.
I think they did, though, because commentary said that pinfalls have to occur inside the ring.
Oh, did they? Okay,
yeah.
I did not catch that.
Which I remember before that they did used to do that, but
still, I mean, it's just like a triple threat match or any kind of no DQ match. A rope break is not a rope break.
Yeah.
You can hold on to the rope all you want. It don't matter. And I've seen it happen.
Yes, but if he were to submit, it wouldn't count because he's not technically in the ring.
I mean, technically, yes, by the rules, I could see that. But whether they go with that, I don't think they would.
Right. I mean, they can bend it however they want, but that's technically how it goes.
Yeah.
And so when Kofi got to the ropes, the ref did not tell Bryan to break the hold. It was more so Bryan was exhausted from wrenching back on the hold that when Kofi got to the ropes, he let go of it himself because he couldn't apply any more pressure because he was exhausted.
Okay, I took it a different way.
That's kind of the story that I got there.
I took it as because Daniel Bryan knows wrestling.
Right.
And Kofi got to the ropes, he just automatically let go because that's what you normally have to do.
Right.
And especially if you can't get a submission with him on the rope, you might as well let go anyway.
Yeah.
Which
it could be both of those things.
I mean, I can see either way.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Kofi got to the ropes, and then Bryan and Kofi end up fighting atop the pod, and Bryan is forced down to the rope, and Kofi kicks him off. And Kofi goes for a superfly splash off the pod, but Bryan rolls out of the way, and he hits the running knee for the win.
Yeah, unfortunately. I was really rooting for Kofi.
Yeah, and they got exactly what they wanted here because everyone bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. But ultimately, Bryan wins.
But if I don't know, I'd have to look at my predictions. But I think I chose Daniel.
Yeah, you did.
Because, I mean, they just made that belt for him, so.
Yeah, and we both said it would come down to Bryan and Kofi.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't think they'd let him drop it yet. I don't think he'll drop it until Mania, if then.
Yeah.
But I wish it would be to Kofi.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be.
No, I don't think it will be either.
Unless it happens at Fastlane and they make it a triple threat at Mania.
Yeah.
Which they might as well. They're doing everything else as a triple threat.
Yeah.
Let's ruin some more matches.
Well, I'll talk about it when we get to the SmackDown review. The idea I have for Bryan, but we'll get into that later. The lasting image of this, Kofi is in the ring after being defeated, and the crowd is chanting, "Thank you, Kofi," and Big E and Xavier come out. And the lasting image, though, is Kofi sitting on the steps with Xavier and Big E with the WrestleMania sign looming in the background.
Yeah.
And it's not by accident that they do those things.
Oh, no, it's not. But it's in this case, it was fitting.
Yeah.
I think. It was a fitting close to the match, into the show.
Yeah, all around, I thought it was a pretty good show. Aside from the two chamber matches, this would have been completely average.
Right,
so Raw kicked off
TV
with
Raw
Triple H.
Without those two matches that I probably wouldn't have watched half of what I did.
Yeah, but the main event was awesome. And
both chamber matches to me were good.
Yeah, the women's chamber match finished strong. Yeah. So that's a corporate when the gimmick of the gimmick when he wrestles succeeds. Yeah, most of the time it's a thumbs up show. Yeah. So first, this Raw was like now we can go right into Raw, an alternate universe. And Triple H opens Raw. He talks about Becky last night, and he says corporately, if she does it again, she'll be arrested. But personally, it was pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
What is your character, Triple H? You hated this woman 2 weeks ago, and now you said it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And so this is where Triple H announces that NXT stars will be making their debut tonight in Lafayette, Louisiana. The most hardcore of fans from Lafayette. This crowd was utterly dead.
Side note,
throughout the whole night.
But a side note about Lafayette, if I'm right, that's where the show True Blood takes place. Don't ask me why. You said Lafayette and it popped in there.
Okay, cool.
Or maybe it's a guy on there named Lafayette. I don't know. Something with True Blood.
Okay. So he shows on the Titantron, Ricochet, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa, all making their debuts tonight.
Yeah.
I hated this so damn much for multiple reasons. And we'll go match by match, and I'll explain my hatred for each one of them.
Well, let's start with the first one. We probably both got the same hatred for it.
Yeah, but just on the announcement, though, I really hate, and like with how they did the last batch of NXT call-ups with the Heavy Machinery, Lacey Evans, EC3, all those people, like, they were not the top of NXT. And they really weren't even a big deal in NXT, really. And they all called them up all at once. And it's what I don't like, is that they do a mass sort of call-up. And so the new audience that is not familiar with them has like 4 different people to acquaint themselves with that they don't know.
Yeah.
Instead of, it would make so much more sense to do it one by one, so you can put the focus on one person.
Like every 2 or 3 weeks have a new one come up.
And get the crowd used to them.
I could see that. I mean, I'd rather have it that way. Every 2 or 3 weeks, have a new one debut on one of the shows, and however they want to do it, whether they interfere with a match or help somebody out in a match.
Yeah.
But that'd be better. I mean, that way you don't get bombarded with all these new people at once that you don't know.
Right. And so Triple H unfortunately announces a tables match with Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Which is going to kick off the show. And Braun eventually power slams Corbin through the table and gets the win.
Now, I've just got 2 questions about this match. One, if you put somebody through the announce table, does it count? It used to, but that's when they used to have real tables as announce tables.
I don't know.
And then 2, what does that tape actually do that the wrestlers wear? Everybody's wearing that tape now. What's it actually do?
It says, "Hey, I'm injured."
I mean, is that all it's for? Is for kayfabe looks?
Well, I think they actually use that, but
I know Cesaro started wearing it.
Yeah,
and then everybody else followed suit.
Yeah, I don't know medically what it does,
and I can't remember what they called it, kinesio tape, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know what it does. I'm seeing everybody wear it. What the hell does it do? Do I need to go buy some too?
No, there's no helping you.
Maybe I can get some at Mania now. Maybe they'll sell some.
Yeah.
Get some special WrestleMania tape.
Yeah. So Braun wins this match. I didn't care about it.
There was no point.
Yeah.
We've seen
Braun gets his win back.
Yeah. I mean, they hurt him too much to where this means nothing.
And nobody helped Corbin in this match,
which is surprising.
Yeah,
because the tables match is.
I was waiting for. Paul Heyman randomly meets Braun Strowman at the top of the ramp, and Braun chokes him, and then lets go of him, and then leaves.
Should have at least pushed him or something.
The way they've been transitioning to different segments now is just that someone comes out and cuts off the other person.
Yeah.
It's just strange, but after the commercial, Heyman goes to the ring, and he kicks to a video package of Paul Heyman cutting a promo.
Yeah, but I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, so it's a video package with Paul highlighting Brock's early career, debuting in WWE, and I call it the revisionist history of his UFC days. Word for word, Paul says he dominated UFC until there was no competition left.
Yeah.
Do you know what Brock Lesnar's UFC record is?
No, I really don't.
3-2.
I knew he didn't wrestle or didn't fight that many people.
3-2.
Yeah, so he's not that great.
And the back end was when he got the diverticulitis, and that's sort of what took him down. That was his downfall, and why he ultimately really couldn't fight anymore. But to say that he dominated the competition until there was nothing left.
Yeah.
I mean, he did beat, what was it, Couture for the title. Yeah. And like, at first, he was dominant. He really took that by storm.
Well, yeah, they got to make sure they sell tickets.
But it went crashing down pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. I didn't know his record in UFC, but I knew it wasn't much.
No.
So,
but I guess I can at least say that Paul Heyman's a heel, so he can lie.
Exactly. He's doing what he's supposed to, and he's putting over Brock.
And it says to be continued at the end of this.
Which kind of made me think it was going to be next week.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. I thought they were going to do this week by week.
Which I was okay with.
Yeah.
I was happy with. It wasn't too much, wasn't too little. Just the right amount.
Yeah, and Finn Balor interrupts Heyman to transition into the next bit.
Which was kind of weird because all of a sudden Balor's coming to the ring, but Heyman's gone.
Yeah.
He just went, poof, I'm out.
Yep. And that led to coming back from commercial, and Paul Heyman is gone with Balor in the ring. And Lio Rush interrupts Balor, which sets up a blindside attack by Lashley.
Yeah.
And there was no explanation or rhyme of reason of why Leo and Bobby are back together. That just happened.
He probably said, I'm sorry.
And as they're beating down on Balor, of all people, Ricochet makes the save for Balor.
Yeah.
And he helps him out, and then we come back from commercial, and they start the tag match.
We had a Teddy Long match.
Yes. And it was during this match that Renee called Corey Graves the world champion of love.
Yes, I remember that.
And you couldn't hardly make out what she was saying. It was quietly she said it.
Yeah, if you weren't paying attention or really listening, you'd miss it.
It went right over your head.
Yeah.
But it was a thing. It happened.
Yes.
I listened to it with my own ears.
Mine too.
And
I have to say, I've seen Ricochet a couple times.
Yeah.
And
I know you watched that ladder match
Yeah.
he was in, the when they debuted the North American title.
Yeah.
Which was an awesome match.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with him. His fast-paced action, I love.
Yeah.
And him and Lio Rush starting the match like that was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, just reversal after counter after reversal. It was just great.
Yeah. Of all the debuts, this was the one I didn't hate as much.
Yeah.
And Finn got worked over forever until Ricochet eventually gets the hot tag, and it ends with him pinning Lio Rush with the 630 splash.
Yes.
Which I don't know how he does without breaking his neck, to be quite honest with
But at the same time, it's like, how does Hardy do his swanton without breaking his neck?
you. Yeah.
I mean, because they land about the same.
Mm-hmm.
So
except Ricochet does 15 more flips.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but again, like I said earlier, protecting Lashley, because anytime Lashley was in this match, he was on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Leo is there to take the pins for Lashley now.
Yeah, but I noticed that Balor's basement drop kick to Leo, if you remember, he nailed it. I mean, both his feet made contact with his face.
Yeah.
I don't know how hard he hit him, obviously, but it looked real. It looked like there was more contact than should have been.
Yeah. Apparently, this is somewhere that Triple H and Vince clashed against each other and what they should do, because Vince wanted to do Finn versus Ricochet.
See, that'd be a good one too.
To debut him.
But they're both faces.
Yeah, and Ricochet would have ended up losing, probably.
Yeah, or they'd have, somebody come out and make it a no contest.
Yeah, and Triple H didn't like that, and they ended up settling on this instead.
I like the way this went, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I mean, I don't think Ricochet losing his first match to Finn Balor would have been terrible.
Well, it's always terrible when you start out the gate with a loss.
But if they do it in a way that they go 15 to 20 minutes and they have a great match and Balor ends up winning,
then that's one thing. But,
yeah.
A lot of times, these new people that do lose from get-go, the matches are only a few minutes, like the Ruby Riott Rousey match.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. Just keep them safe for an extra week if you have to.
Yeah. So overall, I didn't mind this that much. Then we had the Lucha House Party versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder.
You want to know what my notes on this match is?
Well, let me hear.
LHP wins.
Mine just says Hawkins gets pinned with a Hurricane Rana.
Yeah, I mean,
I got pinned on a freaking Hurricane Rana.
I was hoping Hawkins and Ryder would be something because they used to be.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like they're going to unless they're playing it off. Like,
well, I think they want to do like some sort of slow burn until they finally get the win.
That or until one of them turns.
Yeah,
like Ryder turns on them.
Too. But it's not like they're going to do anything with Ryder. So
no, they haven't in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at last year. He had one match at New Year's Eve. The only match of the year.
Yeah. Heavy Machinery are interviewed at the top of the ramp for whatever reason.
Machinery.
Yeah, but I didn't really care for this interview.
No, I didn't care for the interview. I just loved them.
Yeah.
Especially Otis.
Yes. And yeah, they do the whole station weights and all this. Their strong suit is not these sort of interview promos.
No.
But Lacey Evans randomly enters. She walks down the ramp, walks back, and Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker, do like their sort of entrance, like the Bushwhackers walk thing, and then they go back to the top of the ramp to Lacey, and I guess she liked that. She was charmed by it or something.
Well, even before that, when Lacey Evans' music hit, you could see Otis turn his head to the beat. Every time it goes bump, bump, his head goes bump, bump. Every time. And I actually rewatched it to make sure I wasn't just seeing things.
So, I don't know if this is leading to Lacey Evans, like, managing Heavy Machinery.
That's what I got. What's with Lacey Evans? Manager to Heavy Machinery?
Yeah, that's the only thing I assumed after this.
Which, I'm not saying would be a bad thing. I like having managers that wrestle.
Yeah.
Because that way they can get involved, like manager on manager or something like that. They can take a bump and not have to worry about it. I don't know. It could be a good thing. And it'd be something for her to do.
Yeah.
Besides come out to the ramp every week and turn around and go back.
Yeah. So.
I'd be okay with that.
Who knows? Yeah, so after this was where we got Gargano and Ciampa. And before this, they did like backstage bits with Gargano and Ciampa, and Rude and Gable are telling them that they should be in the back of the line and blah, blah, blah. And they were kind of heelish there.
They were, because they were pretty much saying they deserve their rematch.
Yeah.
When there are no rematches anymore.
Yeah. And Gargano and Ciampa, for whatever reason, are positioned as faces. And I just felt like, especially with the backstage promo, I felt like they were not into this at all.
It didn't look like it.
And I can't blame them, because compared to the story that they've been telling on NXT, which has been awesome.
Yeah.
To come up and do this, yeah. And they end up doing Gargano and Ciampa versus the Revival. And, yeah, Ciampa pins Wilder with a knee and a super kick combo with Johnny. And that gets them the win.
If you listen when Gargano does his slingshot DDT, as soon as he swung over the rope and grabbed the head, you would hear him say, "Got ya."
Yep. Yeah, I like that, because that's something AJ Styles does all the time too, where he does like the leapfrog and then does the drop kick, and right before he hits, he's like, "Gotcha."
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I do like when they do that. But
is it just for fun, or is it actually let him know, hey, yeah, got you, let's play it?
I think it's a kayfabe thing, like where it's like like they're sort of trash talking each other.
Okay, it could be that, but I was also thinking, well, maybe it's.
It can work that way.
It's also using as a signal. Yeah. To go, okay, let's do it. Got it. Yeah. Drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the problems I have with this is that Gargano and Ciampa, for one, in NXT, they're not faces, and for two, they're not a tag team.
Not anymore.
Not
for a couple of years.
And they're both heels, and they're sort of aligned. And they did like the halftime heat match where they tagged together, but they're not a team. And like the last promo they had to him with each other was Gargano basically saying like, I'm not aligned with you. I still want to beat you for the title.
Yeah.
And
then now they're going to get called up, and both of them are going to drop their titles, and there won't be a title for them to go after.
Yeah, it would be a shame if they don't have a conclusion to the NXT storyline they had.
Unfortunately, I mean, they shouldn't have brought them up until, I would say, WrestleMania, where they could do the takeover. And they could have concluded
the storyline.
Concluded their storyline, get rid of the titles in a good way. Because with them being called up now, we knew yesterday on NXT that titles were going to change hands.
Yeah, and Velveteen Dream beat Gargano for the North American title.
And what's the difference between the North American title and the NXT Championship?
Well, the North American title is like the mid-card title.
So that'd be like the IC title.
Yeah.
And the UK would be like the US title. Because it's
the UK is like a completely different brand, pretty much, now.
It's still NXT.
Yeah.
But I got you. I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, Velveteen Dream is really like the only top guy that NXT has now that hasn't come up now, I feel like.
And he'll probably be called up soon.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do more call-ups after Mania when they do the shake-up.
Probably. Yeah, but I didn't care for it for all those reasons, but I mean, it was cool, I guess, seeing DIY and the Revival have another match.
But, they got the win.
Yeah.
Does that mean they're going to get a title shot next week? Because most people that beat the champions get a title shot the next week.
That's an interesting idea.
But it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, if you win,
And I still don't even know, like, if everyone that's on TV this week is going to be on Raw or SmackDown full time, or if they're because like they're still, when they do the graphics, they're still doing NXT graphics.
I think they might. I think they'll give them time to clear their storylines at NXT, but they wanted to introduce them to the main audience.
Yeah,
to get them. Okay, well these guys are new. Let's check them out. Oh, they're on NXT. Let's go to the network.
Yeah. And then they'll see completely different stories and be like, whoa, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Like, well, why are they wrestling against each other?
Yeah, I just watched Gargano and Ciampa team with each other. And now they're
whooping each other's ass.
Now they're mad at each other.
Like, what I missed? Somebody didn't pay for their sandwich or something?
Yeah.
But I just made me wonder, because, if you beat a champion in a non-title match, you usually get a title match very soon after.
Yeah. And the good part I will give this is that everyone that debuted won their match. So
that was a given. You're not going to have them lose on their debut.
Well, with like the last ones with like Lacey Evans and EC3, like EC3 already lost to Ambrose.
But that was his second match. He won his first.
I don't think Lacey Evans has had a match other than the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, she hasn't had an actual match on TV yet.
And so at least they have put them in matches and they won.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Which kind of ticks me off, which I'll get to on SmackDown.
Okay. So there was a Sasha and Bayley promo.
Oh, well, yeah, forgot about that.
And Sasha and Bayley, I don't know whose fault it is, but they can't cut scripted promos.
No.
And it's apparent. And Nia and Tamina interrupt them.
Thank God.
Nia Jax was like the only one here that knew how to cut a promo.
And her promos have always been pretty good.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Especially lately. Like, I feel like she has like this newfound confidence on the mic ever since she went back heel after the Becky thing.
Yeah.
And, yeah. They interrupt. They run down to the ring. Sasha and Bayley fend them off. And that was it.
Yeah. What a waste of time.
Kind
of like the next match.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre against Dean Ambrose. This was set up where McIntyre is backstage and he's asking Triple H for a match with Seth Rollins and that he still wants to main event WrestleMania. And Dean Ambrose comes up and slaps McIntyre in the face. And so Drew asks for a match with Dean instead.
Yeah. But I like how they did it, though. It was funny.
Yeah, I guess Dean Ambrose is a face now.
But I don't know what the hell they're doing with Ambrose, because we all know he's technically supposedly leaving.
Yeah.
In just a matter of a few weeks.
Yeah, after Mania, April.
Yeah. So in just over a month, he's going to be gone.
Unless they take him off TV before then.
Which, I mean, I would be okay with, especially with how they're using him.
Yeah. But, yeah, they do the match. Drew beats Ambrose with 2 Claymores. Not that Dean kicked out of the first one. He just decided on his own to hit 2. And after this, we got the second part of the Lesnar video package. And then it comes back to Seth being interviewed. And Dean walks up to him. And he's like hurting, and he's like, my neck and all this.
Well, didn't he say something like, where were you?
Yeah, so that's where Seth says, can I help you?
Yeah.
And Dean looks at him and was like, yeah, where were you out there, man? And Seth just says, have you completely lost your mind? And the face Dean Ambrose made here had me rolling on the ground laughing.
Yes.
he just looks at Rollins with like this blank expression for a solid 5 seconds, and then just goes, and walks off.
Just, I love that segment, but
this was hilarious. This was high quality comedy.
But it's still such a waste of Ambrose's last weeks to be put into crap like Drew McIntyre.
No,
that means nothing.
Yeah.
If you're going to waste his time, put over the new people.
Well, McIntyre is a new people, kind of.
McIntyre's been there over a year. He's not new. I'm talking about, put over Ricochet, put over EC3 again.
They could do that still, but
do something else. I mean, don't waste it.
Even though they had Ambrose beat EC3, but whatever.
But they're 1-1, so they have a tiebreaker.
Yes, because 50-50.
Well,
that's how we do things.
Better than what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows what they're going to end up doing with Dean, but this was hilarious.
Yeah, it was a good segment.
I like to think that Ambrose is given a script here, and like he had like a long monologue talking about like Roman Reigns and the Shield and all this, and he was just like, no, I'm going to do this instead.
Yeah. It's like, what are they going to do, fire me?
Exactly.
That's how I take it, too. I'll be like, you want me to lose? Okay. And then I go out there and flip the script just because. I mean, what are you going to do, fire me? I quit.
Yeah. So we had an Elias promo, and Aleister Black is the one that interrupts for them to have a match.
Wow, I almost said Elias Black.
So, Michael Cole's job here throughout the show was to describe each one of these call-ups and like their character and all that. And one of the adjectives or buzzwords or whatever he wanted to use on Aleister Black was, quote, moody.
Yeah.
Moody. What the...
First off, why is Cole calling anything about NXT when it should be Graves?
Yeah.
Between the three.
Right, I agree. Graves would be better at that.
Well, yeah, he was in NXT. He knows these people.
At least most of them.
Yeah.
A good bit of
them.
I mean,
if he hasn't wrestled them, he'd commentated for him.
Yeah. And I feel like Graves probably watches NXT more than Cole does, or keeps up with it.
Well, isn't Graves... I mean, doesn't he do something with NXT?
No, not anymore.
No? Oh, okay. But I'm sure he still watches.
Yeah.
When he's not on Twitter fighting with his ex-wife.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have a lot of free time now.
Well, not with Carmella around.
So Aleister Black interrupts. They end up having a match.
Imagine that.
And this one I really hated because Elias is like the worst person you could have possibly debuted Aleister Black against.
Why?
Because this match was nothing but headlocks.
No, that's true.
And Elias took 90% of the match until Aleister Black hit the Black Mass and won.
I mean, there were a couple interesting moves in the beginning by Black.
Yeah.
So because I don't know what to call all of his shit. His moves are just weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to call them, but interesting.
Yeah.
Like when just his entrance, he flips over the top rope and sits down.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, but it's so weird.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of like Andrade and Zelina when they enter and they're on the ropes.
Okay.
And, just posing.
Yeah.
But that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. Aleister Black can be a fascinating character if you use him right.
I think he could be.
But like, if I were doing this, I would have had Black win in like a minute.
Just totally get rid of Elias.
Yes, and just Black Mass and pin.
I mean, now that we're talking about it, I'd like to see Black against Orton.
That could be good.
Because both of them are, like, show no emotion. They're both, like, just robots.
Yeah.
And, facial expression-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'd be good because you're not going to get into each other's heads.
Right.
It's going to be a hard-hitting match. And they both got moves that can come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it could be a good match, a good feud.
Yeah. Black's finisher is one of my favorites just because
it's just a kick.
Yeah, it's just a roundhouse kick.
I mean, it's just a kick. Why not bring back the leg drop from Hogan? That could be a finisher.
Yeah, but
it worked for Andre the Giant.
Black's is so sudden and out of nowhere, and does it well.
Yeah,
it works.
It does. It works. It's just,
same way with like Michaels and the super kick.
Yeah, but when he started doing it, though, everybody wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
When he started doing it, it was a finisher. Now it's everybody and their mama's doing a super kick, and it don't mean nothing.
Yeah. And you're saying that, and you've probably never even watched a Young Bucks match.
Nope.
The Young Bucks do like 20 super kicks a match.
And it doesn't mean it. Like the suicide dive. It doesn't mean nothing when they overplay it.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into.
After the classic they put on at Elimination Chamber and Ruby coming up just ever so closely to winning.
Hold on. You skipped one very important note for next week on Raw.
What?
Ric Flair's 70th birthday party.
Oh, yeah. I meant to mention that, too. Because
70. I didn't know he was that old.
I think that's where they're going to do the angle where Becky ends up getting back in the match somehow.
Because Charlotte will be there.
Yeah, so I feel like she's going to like punch Ric Flair in the face.
That'd be cool. That would be awesome. It really would.
Especially Flair, like still to this day, the way he will sell it will be hilarious.
Oh God, yes. I mean, I'm glad he doesn't wrestle. I'm glad he's not trying to wrestle anymore.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't mind seeing him once in a while, like backstage, give an interview or helping new talent or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got the experience. He's got like 150 years experience wrestling.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good. It's good to be good to see him though.
Yeah.
Nostalgia for me because I grew up with him watching him.
And they had him on TV with Charlotte during like her first heel run
when she turned on him.
Yeah. And he was there for a while.
Yeah.
And now Charlotte's heel again, so I guess you could use him in a manager role, but I don't think she needs him.
I don't think they'll do that again. She doesn't need him.
Yeah.
The WWE doesn't need it. And we don't want to see it.
No.
Because we've already seen it.
Yeah.
Now, if he was a competitor and a manager, that's one thing. I would be, okay, he's going to be in matches and manage. Great. But he's too old unless he's going against The Undertaker in a retirement match.
Yeah.
Which, hell, why not?
I can think of several reasons.
Let's throw Goldberg and Sting in there and have a fatal 4-way for a geriatric title.
Yeah. All right. As I was saying, after the classic match that Ronda and Ruby put on,
the minute-and-a-half classic,
and at Elimination Chamber, everybody was clamoring for the rematch. And so,
really? Who was clamoring?
And so WWE gave us what we wanted. We got Ronda versus Ruby again.
Yeah, I got something to say about this match.
Sarcasm.
Yeah.
This one went longer than 90 seconds.
Yeah, this went like 3 minutes.
There was a moment where Ronda punched the air in front of Ruby.
Missed the punch, but Ruby still pulled a gender and played it.
Yes.
And why?
Yeah, that's where you just gotta...
If it's that obvious, don't sit there and try and make us look stupid.
Yeah.
We know
like the old school wrestling would never sell something that isn't there.
You would very rarely see any kind of shadow punches or kicks in the old school day.
If there was and it was an accident, then the other guy is just gonna put you in a headlock or something.
Yeah, just to get you back, just to get everything back on page. But this is like, hey, I'm 3 feet away from you. I'm going to swing. But you got to make sure you fall.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, after seeing that, I feel like Ronda actually is concussed now.
Well, she's something.
And she's just still wrestling. But Ronda kicked out of a riot kick, and she kicked out of another riot kick.
But how?
These
It's just a kick, like Aleister Black's kick. It's a kick.
these near falls, the crowd did not give any craps about.
Because we don't care. Well,
yeah,
I don't.
Well, this crowd didn't care about anything.
Well, that's true. They were pretty quiet for the most part.
And Ronda starts to get the armbar in, but the Riot Squad pull Ruby out of the ring.
Why wasn't that outside interference, or get those two sent to the back?
Yeah, they should have been ejected after that.
I mean, they ejected damn Eric Rowan before the match even started on Sunday.
But that's when Ronda does a crossbody.
Is that what that was?
Where she slipped off the ropes.
Yeah.
And thankfully, she still went far enough to land on them.
You could see it in the way her legs were in the air. And because
normally when she does that crossbody, she gets so much height out of it.
Yeah.
But this time she just slipped and went tumbling down.
I mean, she obviously slipped. Luckily, 2 out of the 3 were there to catch her.
Yeah. Like, she was just in the air going, help!
Yeah, but it kind of reminds me of Bree's suicide dives that she did that one match.
Oh, where she would not get off the ground?
Yeah. But, just total botch.
Yeah. At least someone was there to catch her.
Well, that's true, besides the floor.
So, Ruby tried to do a reverse Hurricane Rana, but it ended up being reversed into a reverse Alabama Slam into the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Face first. That was a cool spot.
That was a nice little spot.
A lot of reverse in there.
Yeah.
And that was followed by Ronda's awesome takedown that she does into the armbar for the win.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't horrible.
It's a small thing, but I love when she does that takedown where she, like, climbs up the person.
Yeah.
And takes them down.
I do like that. I like it better, like, when she did it off the top rope.
Yeah.
When the other person's sitting on the top turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
That's even better. But I understand that's more of like a pay-per-view thing.
Yeah.
I get that. But, yeah, I like that, jumping up and just taking them down.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good show for what it was.
Yeah.
For introducing all the new people and having to have matches.
If you're someone that doesn't watch NXT, I think you would like it more than someone who keeps up with it.
Like me, because I don't watch NXT.
Yeah.
So, but I've seen enough to know that, like, Ciampa and Gargano should not be teaming together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were a lot of things I didn't care for, but overall, it was at least different.
Yeah. I was happy to see.
I'll give them that much. At least.
Different matches instead of the same people, same matches every week, except for the Corbin Strowman issue.
Yeah.
Everything else was pretty much different.
Right.
Well, except for Rousey and Ruby.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that's different were the stuff involving the new people.
Yeah.
But it was okay. I was happy with it.
Yeah.
For what it was.
Yeah. I probably didn't like it as much, but it was okay.
Okay.
Other than the issues I stated with other things. But other than that,
SmackDown.
We'll roll to SmackDown. And it started off with Shane entering, and he's in full commissioner mode.
Yeah.
Even though he's supposed to not be commissioner anymore.
Oh, no, they're still in charge. But, there's supposed to be like 2 of them at all times, I thought.
Who knows?
That's the way it's been. It's always been 2 of them.
I was told that we were the authority.
Well, yeah, we are in charge, supposedly.
Miz interrupts Shane to apologize for eating the fall at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And eventually they get to the point of how there are no more automatic rematches, but he's Shane McMahon and he can make it happen.
Yeah.
And the Usos interrupt, and I guess they want the rematch. Which
I think is kind of cool. Most of the time, the teams that win try to back out of rematches.
Yeah.
So it was just cool to see something different.
Mm-hmm. And it leads to Shane announcing the rematch for Fastlane.
Yeah.
So,
Fastlane's what, like just under 3 weeks? 2 weeks from this coming Sunday?
I believe so. It's like we're 40-some days away from Mania, but there's still another pay-per-view.
I know. I keep forgetting about that. Another pay-per-view before we get out of here.
Yeah. So we had Aleister Black versus Andrade, which was a much better way of debuting Aleister Black.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously because he's new, Black's going to win.
Yeah.
So, like I wrote in my notes, as Wesley Snipes said in Passenger 57, always bet on Black. But, I mean, it was a good match.
It was. I liked this.
It was better than what they'd had on Monday.
Yeah, and Aleister and Andrade have had a good few matches in NXT. It was...
They look like they've gone against each other before.
Yeah, it was Black that beat Andrade for the NXT title.
When
Before Andrade came up.
Gotcha.
And, yeah, Black wins a fine match.
He did a Meteora.
Yep.
Which they didn't say that. They said it was a double knee. Bull. If it's a double knee for him, it's a double knee for Sasha Banks.
It's the same thing.
Exactly. Is it a double knee or is it Meteora?
It's whatever they feel like calling it.
Is it a super kick or sweet chin music?
Yeah. We had Ciampa and Gargano teaming again, this time against The Bar, who were making fun of Ciampa and Gargano.
Yeah.
They treated this like they were jokes and that they were going to win easily. And Ciampa ends up pinning Cesaro with a roll-up. Fine match,
a roll-up.
Yeah, there you go.
On Cesaro. A roll-up. You're going to pin a former multi-tag team champion with a roll-up.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know why they needed to do that.
But the landing that Black had when he his knee buckled or whatever, when he landed on his leg.
Ciampa, you mean?
Yeah, Ciampa.
Yeah, they did the power bomb where...
Off the top.
Yeah, Sheamus lands on Ciampa's knee.
And his leg was bent back.
Yeah.
It just looked painful.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was or not. He came back from it.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked hurt. Made my leg hurt.
Yeah, and this was where I think it was this, where they subtly told the story that Ciampa and Gargano are still against each other because after they won, Gargano is looking at the NXT title.
Yeah.
So they did it subtly. They did not do it overtly.
But, I mean, what's the point of looking at the title? You're both getting called up. You're not going to have that title to fight for.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still don't know what their plans are for them.
I guess we'll find out next week if they're there.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of
one who hasn't been on TV.
Asuka is here.
Exactly.
For an in-ring interview. And she's asked about how she's being overlooked with Charlotte and Becky and Ronda being the focus of everything.
And I'm hating that too.
And she basically just says that she beat Charlotte and Becky at TLC, and she made Becky tap out at the Royal Rumble, and she's ready for a new challenge.
I mean, I give her that. She's beat everybody. Put her up against Rousey, champion versus champion.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I wanted to mention that at some point. Is that when Ronda Rousey debuted at the Royal Rumble last year, or 2 years ago, depending on how you want to take that.
Yeah.
But it was Asuka that won the Royal Rumble, and Ronda was the one that kind of stole her spotlight by coming out. And I remember thinking right at that point, they're going to set up for Ronda versus Asuka. That's going to be an awesome match.
Yeah.
And then in 2018, they proceeded to do nothing with Asuka until the back end of the year.
Yeah.
And now, that match isn't even thought about.
That would have been a hell of a match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, especially when Asuka still had that momentum.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been great to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Especially for us, the fans.
Yeah, it's a shame because the likelihood is that match won't happen ever.
Yeah, and it sucks because, they're both submission experts. I think it'd just be a hell of a match.
And Asuka Asuka is widely regarded as one of the best overall workers in the company.
She hasn't been there that long. Overall.
Well, she's been in wrestling forever. Like, she's been in Japan for so long.
Okay. So if you count her whole career, not just WWE.
Her whole body of work
okay.
as a worker. And if you pair that with, like, the star power and the talent that Ronda has, I feel like it would have been a fun match.
Oh, yeah. I think it could have been a great match.
But,
I don't think we'll ever see it.
Yeah. Probably not, as if Ronda ends up leaving after Mania.
We'll chalk that up to with the Undertaker versus Sting match we'll never see.
Yeah. So it's Mandy and Sonya that come out. And the thing that I'm starting to notice, like, when Mandy and Sonya come out is, like, how they do, like, I don't even know how to describe the screen effect they do when Mandy comes out.
Oh, with the blurriness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, the way they do it, you can only see Mandy.
Yeah.
And Sonya is, like, blurred out.
Yeah. Well, that's because she's God's greatest creation.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know who started that. I know she said it, but I think Corey Graves started it.
He may have.
Because he's been saying it for quite a while.
Well, I think Mandy's whole gimmick was the Golden Goddess.
Yeah. But the God's greatest creation, those words specifically,
yeah,
I think they were.
Graves.
I think they were from Graves, but
Yeah.
she did say them on her segment.
Yes, she said it herself,
which was kind of cool. That makes me think. Well, maybe she listens. Maybe she goes back and watches the show and listens to what the commentators say.
Yeah,
or Vince tells her what to say.
So it ends up being Mandy versus Asuka. And, I was thinking throughout this, okay, well, we're going to get a nice little jobber match for Asuka, get her some momentum back since she hasn't been on TV in like a month.
Yeah, give her a couple minutes on TV.
And
remind people that SmackDown has a women's champion.
Yeah, but that was not quite what happened.
No.
So, first, Lacey Evans comes out and then leaves.
Yeah, for no reason. Walks down the ramp and back up.
Which didn't even affect the match at all.
Kind of, because it kind of...
Mandy took control, but she didn't win the match there.
No, she just got a quick, like a roll-up or something, a 2 count.
I did like the slight bits that Sonya was, like, yelling at Lacey.
Oh, yeah.
And then she left. So that was probably a good little improvisation from Sonya.
Probably. Just off the cuff, yeah.
But after that is where... Mandy took advantage of the distraction for a moment, but the match keeps going after that, and we go through a commercial, I think. And Asuka hits like the elevated knee that she does to the face of Mandy. And Mandy's going, oh my god, my eye, my eye.
But if you notice, she's grabbing her right eye.
Yeah.
And the knee hit her left side.
Yeah, I think they even pointed that out later.
I think Renee pointed it out.
Renee.
Or not Renee.
Saxton.
I'm thinking third chair.
Yeah. The third wheel.
Yeah.
So, as Mandy is faking this eye injury, the ref keeps backing Asuka off of...
And Asuka, just, for some reason, wasn't wanting to back off.
Yeah.
Normally, the faces, they'll back off when they're told to.
Well, it's because she could tell that she was faking it.
Yeah.
I guess. And, the ref backs off Asuka multiple times until Mandy throws Asuka into the ropes and rolls her up for the win.
But you know what? I'm actually okay with this. And I'd be okay with Mandy even winning the title.
Yeah. I'm still out on Mandy.
Just because, and it has nothing to do with necessarily her ability, because Asuka has the ability of 100 Mandys.
Yeah.
But
that's underselling it.
They haven't done anything with Asuka. Mandy has at least been on TV in some fashion.
Yeah. And I'll give you that.
I'd rather my champions be on TV than not used at all. Even if you're just making an appearance, you're on TV. You don't sit there and, I haven't been on TV for like a month. Let's do a promo.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's just like once like Becky and Charlotte are basically on Raw now, essentially.
Well, I mean,
and
that's another thing that's really screwing things up, though, because they're going to both shows, but yet they're supposed to be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And to me, that's taking away spots for other women on Raw.
Yeah. And it's left the SmackDown women's parts
open,
thin.
Yeah.
There's not many credible challengers that Asuka can face.
Well, your top two women are going against Raw.
Yeah.
So there's really no top women besides Asuka.
And it looks like they're just going, like, from what they're saying, is that they're just going to get rid of the brand split for the women.
Well, see, that's kind of stupid, too.
Which I don't know if they're going to end up doing, like, a title unification at some point.
Like they did before the last time the brand split?
Yeah.
With the heavyweight titles?
Yeah, maybe Asuka will be added to the triple threat.
It'll be a fatal four-way. Might as well. Why not? I'd rather see that.
And the winner gets both the titles.
I'd rather see that. One, because we'll be there.
Yeah.
But two, it would make more sense. Because there's not enough women on the roster on both Raw and SmackDown to make it entertaining.
No, or at the very least, they need to shift some from Raw over to SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, the feuds...
I would rather, you could put, a Ruby Riott on SmackDown, and she could be more of a credible threat to Asuka than what she's doing on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, nobody's going to beat Rousey.
Mm-hmm.
At least until she's done.
Yeah.
I mean, so whoever she goes up against at WrestleMania, whether it be Charlotte, Becky, or both, somebody's going to walk out with the belt besides her.
Yeah.
If that's truly when she's leaving.
Yeah.
There's no point in having all these people on Raw when we know who's going to win every time until then.
Right.
We're not stupid. I know WWE thinks we are, but we're not. We know we can see right through them. It's the same stuff they do all the time.
Yeah.
And then you have SmackDown, which, yeah, they have a handful of women.
But those handful are...
one or two are...
Carmella, Mandy Rose, Lana.
Naomi. Which, Naomi's cool. I like Naomi. I wouldn't mind seeing her champion again. I think her reign was cut a little short.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think she could use a few more months as champion. But other than that, you have Naomi and Asuka and Carmella are like the top three.
The most credible.
Yes. And because Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville just haven't put the time in yet.
Yeah.
That's all. They're good, just they haven't put the time in.
I wish they'd use Sonya in this spot instead of Mandy, personally.
Yeah,
I feel like Sonya is just so much more talented.
And they don't showcase it because she doesn't have the blonde looks of Mandy Rose.
Yeah, it pays to be blonde in WWE.
Yeah, because, I mean, let's face it, Sonya Deville's gorgeous too.
Yeah.
But she's not blonde.
Yeah. If you want to be pushed as a woman in WWE, you have to get breast implants and be blonde.
Look at Eva Marie.
Those are the two biggest things.
Look at Eva Marie. She got the boobs, but she didn't go blonde, and look what happened to her.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Even then, they still tried to push her.
They still tried, but...
it didn't work, but they tried.
It wasn't all blonde everything. It was all red everything. See, they wanted her to go blonde in the beginning.
Yeah.
And she went totally against it.
Eventually, every woman is going to be blonde.
Lacey Evans, newest one to join.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be getting a push, too.
Yeah. So Nikki Cross just came in a month or so ago.
She ain't doing nothing.
Well, she ain't doing nothing, but she's not blonde.
Yep.
If she was blonde, we'd see her every week.
Ugh.
Just makes you wonder.
Yeah. Didn't even mention Alexa Bliss there, either.
Oh, there's no need as Bliss. I mean, she's the blonde goddess of Raw.
I don't... she hasn't wrestled since the Rumble.
I don't think she's still... Well, yeah, I know she's cleared because she was in the match.
Yeah,
but
it's weird.
Think about what is there for her to do?
Yeah, that is true. That's someone else. She could go to SmackDown.
But she's already conquered SmackDown. She's conquered Raw.
Yeah.
There's not much she hasn't... There is nothing she hasn't done except win the tag titles now.
No.
So find her a tag team partner. A good one. Not Mickie James.
What's wrong with Mickie James?
I'd rather see Mickey as a singles title holder. I don't.
Well, she's not going to.
No, and that's fine. But I don't want to see her as a tag title. I'd rather see a younger superstar team with Alexa.
Yeah.
Screw everybody over. You know what? Make Lacey Evans a heel and team her with Alexa.
I wouldn't mind that.
Something totally out of the box, never conceived, never thought of.
Yeah.
Something just blow people's mind. That'll be something they'll talk about.
Yeah.
Not, oh, well, we've got this middle-aged woman who's trying to make a comeback again, teaming up with this little young pup, trying to win the titles. Yeah, give me something new.
Okay. Yeah, so Asuka loses for the first time since she's been back on TV since the Royal Rumble.
She's only been on TV once since Royal Rumble, and that was this week.
Yeah. So that was unfortunate, but whatever. Yeah. We had Ricochet versus Eric Young.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
Sanity is here.
Yeah, we haven't seen them. What we discussed since Survivor Series.
Yeah, since the Usos handed Eric Young the SmackDown shirt, he said, "Let the purge commence."
Yeah, that was the last time we saw him on SmackDown.
Yeah, that purge commenced straight to catering.
Yeah, and like we discussed, that was just because SmackDown's on USA. The Purge TV show was on USA.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yes, it was going on at the same time. I guarantee you that's where it was from.
Yeah. They said we need Eric Young to plug our show.
Yeah. We need a nobody to plug our show.
Yeah, so Ricochet wins. I didn't really care for this match. I thought it was kind of a rest hold match, but Ricochet got his stuff in and won.
Yeah, the only thing I've got major is, let's give it up to Insanity for getting a little TV time.
See, they haven't been on TV in so long, you don't even know their name.
Yeah.
It's Sanity, not Insanity.
Oh, yeah, Insanity. Yeah. Did I write Insanity? Yeah, I did. I did write Insanity. Oh, my God. Although it was a nice sell by Young when Ricochet hit that drop kick and bounced him out through the ropes.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nice sell.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see that very often anymore. As people like Kofi will, and a handful of others, but not many people are going to make the other person look that good.
Right.
Even if they try. I mean,
And it would be easy for Eric Young to not care and not try.
Well, yeah, I mean, what's he going to do? Not get TV time?
Yeah.
But, I mean, it wasn't a great match. It wasn't really that good of a match.
No.
It was just a wasted match.
But Ricochet got his stuff in and he won, which is ultimately, I guess, all that matters.
Yeah, that's all it was for. I mean, you think about it, 4 out of the 5 matches this week were the new people.
Yeah. That's, 3 out of 5.
Well, yeah, 3 out of 5 because the
one was tag match.
Yeah.
And then we had this main event, the 6-man tag with everybody that was in the Elimination Chamber.
Heels versus faces.
Yeah.
And
we were promised throughout the show that we would see who would challenge Bryan for the title at Fastlane.
But before this, let's not forget hashtag
Kofi Mania. Yes.
Because that's awesome.
Yeah.
But, okay, now we can go.
I did like they did the backstage bit with Kofi, Styles, and Hardy. And he comes in and he's like, normally someone would offer an olive branch, but I'm here to offer a pancake branch.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he just has a branch with pancakes on
it. Yeah, and they eat them.
Yeah, AJ ate one.
I hope they were from Big E's crotch.
I hope not.
It's just, no.
This was a pretty good main event match.
I just didn't see the point of it to do this match after the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it typically is something you do in the build to it.
Yeah, you put the 3 faces against the 3 heels and let them go at it until the pay-per-view, and then after that.
That is true.
It was just weird to see. Maybe that's why I didn't care about it.
Yeah.
Because no matter who wins, I mean, well, obviously now we know what happens.
Yeah.
But at the time, it's a tag match. Whoever wins, wins. Who cares?
Yeah. And so ultimately, Kofi ends up pinning Bryan to end it. The second time he's pinned Bryan. Yep. And Shane comes out and announces Kofi versus Bryan for Fastlane.
And that's where the show quit.
Yeah.
As soon as he announced it, that was it. But that's okay. I mean,
they've always got that hard time they got to work with.
Now, yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm okay with that if they only let Kofi win it. And I know they're not because of what we've talked about with WrestleMania and rumors that we've heard.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have Kofi win, but this is where I'll talk about the idea that I alluded to earlier.
Okay.
So, and it's not my idea. It was someone on Reddit. So,
Gotcha. So it's not your creative thoughtness.
yeah, but I thought it was such an awesome idea. Is that you have Kofi versus Bryan, and like the storyline writes itself because with Bryan's character against consumerism and all this, and then you have the New Day throwing people pancakes and selling all their merch and all that. It writes itself.
Well, plus with Kofi having 2 wins over Bryan.
Yeah.
Helps
and so they do the match at Fastlane, and Bryan wins by some sort of shenanigans, Eric Rowan or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Kofi comes out the next week, and he wants a rematch at Mania. And so Bryan agrees to do it on the condition that if Bryan wins, that Kofi has to disband the New Day.
Ooh.
And then you do New Day versus title at WrestleMania.
Now, for just in case it ever happened and Kofi won the title, would he be able to freebird the title?
I would think not.
Well, you wouldn't think they'd be able to with tag titles either, but they did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, would he be able to, free?
That'd be that would be interesting.
Because I remember they mentioned it. There was a brief comment about it. I don't know where I saw it. It might have been a rumor website or something.
Yeah. That the New Day are WWE champion together.
Yeah, something like, but they wanted to freebird the title. I wouldn't want to see it.
Mm-mm.
The tag titles is one thing.
Yeah.
That's entertaining to switch it up.
Yeah.
But,
and plus it's part of being a tag team.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the heavyweight title, I don't think they would. I mean, Kofi earned it, and it'd be hard to have 3 heavyweight champions.
Yeah, I would think it would just be Kofi.
But, see, I was looking at it as, okay, per cage size seats, that's all I'm going to say because I don't know who reported it. But rumor is that KO will be at Mania.
Yeah.
Against Daniel Bryan.
Well, the thing that Meltzer said was that they wanted to be a returning star. And, like, the ones he mentioned were Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt.
Okay. And that's fine. I mean, KO...
And I would think Kevin Owens would be the top of that list, probably.
Well, yeah, because Bryan and Bray already had their feud.
Yeah, that's true.
But just say Kevin Owens comes back at Fastlane and interferes in the match.
Mm-hmm.
They could easily set it up for a triple threat at Mania.
Yeah.
It gives them a reason to. Because, honestly, KO doesn't need the title the second he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
He's been gone for months. To me, he has to earn his way back.
Yeah.
Kofi's already at the top of the ladder. Let KO screw him, and that gives him something to fight towards for the next few weeks to Mania.
Okay.
And make it a triple threat, and be done with it.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
You still have your returning star as KO, but you'd also give the fans what they want for once in the history of WWE, and give Kofi the title.
The other one I saw was, I think it was Bully Ray's idea that the story, the way it's been told, the way it feels like it could finish, logically at least, would be that Kofi took Mustafa Ali's spot in the chamber match.
Yeah.
So the way you would finish this one is a triple threat with Bryan, Kofi, and Ali.
Okay, I could see that if, and it's a big if because I know they won't do it, but they would have to put Bryan in a singles match with Ali, and Ali would win.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could see it setting up for a triple threat with these 3.
Yeah. I don't think any of these are going to happen.
I don't either. I mean, it would be nice for Kofi to win. He has put time in, obviously. We all know I root for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Mustafa. He's great. He just hasn't put his time in. He just got thrown into the picture.
Yeah.
And then just happened to get kicked out of it when he got hurt.
Yeah.
But if you put him in with Bryan and he wins, that sets it up as a triple threat. Or if he goes against Kofi And, if he wins, he gets added. If he loses, he doesn't.
Right.
I could see that one either. I mean, that would work.
Yeah. I still feel like in the back of my mind that it's going to end up being Cena versus Bryan.
I hope not.
Like, that's just creeping in the back of my mind.
Well, I mean, we all know it's been reported Cena's filming until, April 1st.
Yeah. And Mania is April 7th.
So he'll have, one show, either that Monday or Tuesday to really get something started for Mania.
Right.
Unless he comes back and just does some promos to get it set up. But I don't see how it's enough time to set anything up.
Probably not.
Not to make it realistic to where people are going to want to spend the money to see that again.
Yeah. It's only a sneaking suspicion.
Yeah. I just don't see that one happening.
No.
Just like my ideas. I don't see them happening. It'd just be nice.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it seems like probably the most likely thing is they just do Bryan versus Owens, which I don't know.
But I mean, why? Why does he get a title shot all of a sudden? Just because he's been injured? If that's the case, how come Balor didn't get his title shot when he first came back?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how they do it, I guess.
I mean, we'll have to sit and wait, obviously.
I think Bryan versus Owens, especially with the character Owens is doing now, it can be a good storyline. Like Kevin Owens is the common man sort of thing.
Well, he was before it was gone for months.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to look. Fans change daily. New fans come in, old fans leave every day watching wrestling. People may not know that much about KO. They might know the name. They might know he's done some of the stuff he's done.
Well, he hasn't been gone for that long.
He's been done for, 5 months?
Yeah, people are still going to know who he is.
But, newer fans may not. If people follow NXT and they're following, Ricochet and Ciampa and Gargano, and they start watching the main roster, I'm not saying it works like that, but they may not know KO that much. I don't agree he needs to be in the title match. He's been gone for months. He may show so much ring rust it'll look like Brie Bella doing a suicide dive.
I doubt that.
You never know. Anything can happen. It's the WWE.
Yeah, but it's also Kevin Owens.
Not
Brie Bella.
I'd rather, if he's going to be involved in the title match at Mania, I'd rather it be a triple threat with Kofi and Daniel and KO. I don't want to see a triple threat match, period, but I want to see Kofi in it.
Yeah.
So I'll find a way to make it so he's in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're getting too hard set on Kofi winning is the problem.
I am, because I really want him to. And I know I'm going to get let down because it's WWE, and that's what WWE stands for, is let down the customers. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I mean, I think they should ride the Kofi momentum wave as far as they can.
Well, you got to look. Not only will he sell tickets, but look at all the New Day merch he can sell.
Yeah.
Especially going against Daniel Bryan, who's anti-merch.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not want to ride that gravy train?
Yeah.
Even if it takes you to Mania, ride it. I mean, when's the next time we're going to see Kofi in a big-time spotlight match? Never. It took him this long to get this one.
Yeah. I mean, my thought behind it is that 11 years, they haven't done it yet. I don't feel like they will.
No, but even the fans have never really been behind them as they are now.
No.
They've been behind, not as much.
New Day has always been a popular act together.
Together, yeah.
But as far as, singles, not since, his early days, when he first started getting pushed in the Orton feud, people liked him then.
Yeah, I mean, they liked him, but they weren't behind him like they are now. They weren't pushing for him to win over everybody.
Yeah. I went back today and watched the Kofi Kingston debut vignettes.
Oh, yeah?
From WWE ECW.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched that.
No.
But that's where Kofi originally debuted, was the ECW WWE's version.
Yeah, I knew that.
And they did these vignettes with Kofi in Jamaica, and and he calls it paradise and all this, and like the thing they would do in all of them was like in like the beach, some guy would be being a jerk somehow. Like there was some dude that pushed over a kid's sandcastle, and like Kofi would be like, "Oh, looks like there's trouble in paradise," and so they wouldn't show him beating the guy up, but it would show the people watching him beat him up, and then throw in sound effects like pew, pow, pow, ping.
Oh gosh!
and then it would cut back, and the guy's buried in sand with his head sticking out.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm like, wow, this aged.
Yeah.
I don't know if it aged well, but it definitely aged. I was laughing so hard watching.
I remember his old entrance music. I liked it.
It's funny because all his moves are still named after his Jamaican character.
Yeah. I mean, everything is. Even the boom drop.
Yeah.
I mean, you could at least name it something. I mean, come on now. They made Cena change the names of his FU and STFU after the new era.
Yeah.
They could change the name of his moves to something more comedic like the New Day would use.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and think of a name. But I'm just saying that they've got a team of creative people that could do something useful for a change.
Well, it's been that way for this long. I don't think it's changing now.
And that's the same story for Kofi's heavyweight title reign.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
But maybe eventually he'll get like a Mark Henry token run.
I'd be happy with that. I don't care if it's like a Goldberg run where he has it for a couple weeks. I'd be happy with that. I just want to see him come out as a champion. A heavyweight champion. Put him in there with Brock Lesnar again.
Again?
Oh, yeah. They went at it over in Japan. I don't know if it was a house show or special of some sort, but they went at it in Japan.
I didn't even know Kofi was in Japan.
Not New Japan. They were just in Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually went at it. It was a quick, I don't know if it was spur of the moment. It was just a quick bullshit match.
Never seen that one.
I don't even know if there's footage. I've just heard about it from what I've read back in the day when it happened.
Yeah, like I know Lesnar's has a good history in Japan. Like he had matches with Nakamura too back then.
Yeah, I'm not saying Kofi was in New Japan. I just know he was there. Maybe he was there with WWE. Maybe he was a free agent at the time. I don't know.
Yeah, the time that Brock was in Japan would be like before Kofi was in WWE.
And it might have been then.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly when it happened. I just know they have gone against each other. And no, it had to have been after that because he was with Heyman.
Yeah.
So it had to have been after WWE. So, but yeah, it's there. Look it up.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I actually know something you don't.
Yeah, I know. You caught me off guard there.
It's extremely fast. That's like crazy.
I don't know that we have anything else to get into.
I don't think so. I think we're pretty much good on everything.
Yeah.
We've ranted about everything that we needed to. We've praised the one or two things that we had.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it.
All right. Well,
I can't think of anything. Can you?
No.
Okay, then.
We're good then.
Yeah, at least for this week.
Yeah. But see, I forgot to plug iTunes in the
Oh my gosh. And I even reminded myself last night doing my notes to remind you before we started to plug it.
Yeah, so leave us a review on iTunes if you're still listening.
Yeah.
I don't even care what you give us at this point. Just write us something.
Give us something, big FU or something. Tell us something. I mean, even if you go, hey, stop making this damn show. I mean, we're still going to make it, but tell us something.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
I'd just like to know that there is signs of life out there.
You know what I think we should do? Before we go off the air, let's put it on there. We're going to Mania. We all know.
Yeah.
And we were going to do our show coming back from Mania while we're driving.
Yeah. And there.
Because I figure it's gonna be so late there after we get done and out of there and back to the hotel.
Yeah, I'm saying we're also going to do the Road to WrestleMania podcast.
Oh yeah. With that Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. And that'll be Thursday.
Yeah, when we leave.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we do like and I don't know how you would work this, but like a Facebook Live podcast.
Well,
I mean,
not a Facebook Live. You could do a YouTube stream.
YouTube or whatever, something like that. Something different. And we could actually do it right after Mania's, like we're going back to the hotel.
Yeah.
We could just get on there and start talking about it briefly and get people excited for the show for the next day.
Yeah.
Something different. What are the odds that somebody else is going to be at WrestleMania that does a podcast?
Well, I'm sure
probably pretty good.
Everybody has a podcast now.
That's true. I didn't until now, but
yeah. When I asked you if you wanted to do the podcast, you were like, "What's a podcast?"
I wasn't that.
Is that one of those internet things?
That on them things on them there talking boxes.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for bearing with us if you're still here past 2 hours.
For that one person that might be.
Yeah. But until next week,
we will wrestle you later.